Hi, my name is Jessie Adams. I'm a hairstylist in Costa Mesa, California. I've been doing hair for about 10 years. Come to work with me today. I have 2 color clients today that are going to be very fun transformations. My first one always lets me do whatever I want, so I'm very excited for that. And then my second client has the most beautiful hair. She waits 12 months between her appointments and it still grows out beautifully. But come along with me. I hope you learned something today, and let's go do some pretty hair. Alright, so I got too excited to get started. We forgot to take a before video, but here is my client. And our goal for her appointment today is to basically just bring up her face frame as well as make her ends a little bit more solid blonde. She has some pre-existing lightness through her ends, but she also has a lot of dimension and she has a lot of her natural throughout her ends as well. So we are just trying to kind of brighten her up while keeping a lot of her natural depth at the root. I'm not even really highlighting through it. We want to keep a high contrast look to make the blonde really pop. So you can see here I'm foiling her hairline. I always like to start with a baby light and then I go in with a micro slice directly off of the baby light. I feel like this gives the perfect looking money piece without it being too chunky. For her hairline, I did 3 foils in each section. So I did baby light, micro slice, baby light around her entire hairline. Here you can see I am starting her tip outs on her right side. The left side is done. I did 3 tip outs in the ear area in that lower section, and then I'm doing 3 tip outs on the top section as well, and I'm just over directing everything towards her face, and I'm also back combing everything so that when we blow it out there are no harsh lines. For the back of her head, I am just moving up from the bottom towards the top of her head, and I'm just doing big teased out tip outs. We just really want the ends to pop. And I'm leaving a little bit of hair between foils, but honestly not much. I'm kind of going for like more of a solid look, but since it's the back, I am leaving a little bit more dimension. Once I was done applying that, my second client for the day arrived, and her goal for the day was just to brighten it all up. We're gonna bring up her money piece, break up that dark root area, and just make her feel fresh. It's been a year. So I'm going in with a heavy partial. You can see my foils around the ear are pretty tightly packed together. This is because I want a bright, bold area around the face. When she curls her hair, all of that hair that will be bending out away from her face, I want to be really bright. So pretty much my standard procedure, starting with a baby light, and then directly behind that I am doing a micro slice followed with a baby light. I feel like that creates the prettiest money piece hairline highlight. So that is what I'm doing now. You can see those foils in the mohawk section. I've spaced out a little bit more than what I do around the face to add a little bit more dimension throughout the back. I added some tip outs, and then it was time to root smudge my first client. I mixed up a 5NW equal parts 6N in Redken Shades EQ. And if you're doing a root smudge on someone that you left really rooty, be really mindful that you're not just root smudging their root area. Really make sure that you are actually root smudging that area where their natural meets the highlights. So that's why I'm root smudging so far down the hair. It's a lot more further down than I usually am root smudging. This is so beautiful and blendy. You can see that money piece is really gonna pop. So I'm doing a normal root smudge on most of the money piece, and then for the very front hairline area, I'm doing just like the tiniest little tap. After that had processed, I mixed up her overall gloss, 10MB, 10P, 10N, Redken Shades EQ. We let that sit on for 10, and then it was time to root smudge my second client. That is what you're seeing here. And I mixed up 5NW, 5N equal parts Redken Shades EQ. This is just the most satisfying thing I've ever seen. Like, I love a good root smudge melting video. It's so pretty. Once that was all done processing, we glossed her, and for her gloss, I actually used 1013, 913, and a splash of 93 India Light. My first client was all done. This is me styling her out. We gave her a little trim. We added the texture spray. This after is so gorgeous. I am obsessed with the solid depth at the root. I feel like this is just such a fresh look. if you bring it up around your face, it's not gonna feel like it's grown out. So I really, really love the way that this turned out. Here is her after. The tone of this is stunning. I am so obsessed. It looks so good on her skin tone. The money piece is so fresh. Look at it from the back. It is just so seamless, and this is gonna grow out beautifully for months and months and months. After I was done with my first client, we got my second client all styled out using the Babyliss 1 1/4 inch curling iron. She's adding some texture spray here, and voila. Her hair is so beautiful, and again, she doesn't come in for a full year, so this is why we brought it up all the way to the root with a little root smudge, and this is going to last her a full 12 months. Here's her after. I am so in love with how this turned out. The tip outs around her face made such a big difference, and I'm just obsessed with the way that the tone looks on her skin. I love this so much. Thank you so much for coming along with me. I hope you learned something today. Feel free to like and subscribe and comment a question below if you have any questions. Thank you so much. Bye.